Lauren Bennett, laid to rest at private London memorial service. If you were anywhere near a radio, a club, or a wedding reception in 2011, you know this voice. Party rock in the house tonight. That hook, that bridge, it belonged to a young British singer named Lauren Bennett. This week, we're getting a much fuller picture of how she was remembered. And it turns out her final goodbye happened almost entirely out of the public eye. Today, we're covering everything. The newly reported details of her private London memorial and the career that took her from small English pubs to the top of the Billboard charts. Let's start with how this all came to light. On Monday, July 6th, Bennett's former group G.R.L. shared devastating news on Instagram. Their bandmate Lauren had passed away. In their statement, the group said their hearts were broken and that they'd forever cherish the memories she gave them. No cause of death has been released, and even the exact date is still unclear. Multiple outlets report she died sometime between late May and June of this year, meaning the world didn't learn about her passing until weeks after the fact. In fact, one of her earlier bandmates from Paradiso Girls, Aria Crescendo, had quietly posted a tribute marking what would have been Bennett's 37th birthday back in June, before the news was ever made public. That gap between her actual passing and the public announcement is part of why this story has felt so different from a typical celebrity death. And it's also, as we'll get to, part of why her family chose such a private send-off. So who exactly was Lauren Bennett, beyond that one massive hit? She was born Lauren Diane Bennett on June 24, 1989, in Meopham, Kent, in the UK. Like a lot of pop stories, hers started small. She was entering local talent contests as a kid, and by 14, she'd already formed a singing duo with a friend, performing in pubs and bars around her hometown. Her big break came through, of all things, a rejection. She auditioned for the UK version of The X Factor in 2006, made it all the way to the final 12, and then got sent home before the live shows. But that appearance put her on the radar of the right people. She got a call to audition in front of music executive Jimmy Iovine and choreographer-turned-manager Rock Anthem, best known as the creative force behind the Pussycat Dolls. She made the cut, and at just 17 years old, moved from Kent to Los Angeles to join a new girl group. That group became Paradiso Girls, 5 members, each from a different country, signed to Interscope Records. In 2009, they released their debut single, Patron Tequila, featuring Lil Jon and Eve, which climbed into the top 3 on Billboard's Dance Club chart. They followed it up with another single, Who's My Bitch? After Paradiso Girls disbanded, Bennett didn't slow down. She pivoted to a solo career, and along the way worked with some serious names. She was featured in a remix of will.i.am's I Got It From My Mama, toured with LMFAO on the Party Rock Tour, and was featured on CeeLo Green's album, The Lady Killer, on the track Love Gun. And then came 2011, the moment that would define her career in the public eye. LMFAO brought her in, alongside Goon Rock, for a song called Rock Anthem. It's hard to overstate how big this song became. It topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 6 straight weeks, sold more than 5 million digital downloads in the US alone, and also hit number 1 on the UK singles chart for 4 weeks. Worldwide, it topped the charts in over 20 countries. It became Bennett's first ever number 1 single, and honestly, one of the most inescapable songs of that entire era. Off the momentum from Rock Anthem, Bennett was tapped by Rock Anthem again, this time for a rebooted, reimagined version of the Pussycat Dolls concept. That project eventually became G.R.L, short for Girls Rock Life, rounding out with members Emmeline Estrada, Natasha Slayton, Paula Van Oppen, and Simone Battle. G.R.L. debuted with Vacation, which landed on the soundtrack for The Smurfs 2, and they followed it with Wild Wild Love alongside Pitbull and their highest charting single, Ugly Heart. But the group's story includes real tragedy. In September of 2014, member Simone Battle died by suicide. G.R.L. disbanded not long after, but they later released a song called Lighthouse as a tribute to her memory. Bennett went on to help reform G.R.L. as a trio in 2016, and the group continued performing off and on for years afterward, even confirming new music as recently as 2021. It's worth sitting with that for a second. This wasn't Bennett's first time grieving a bandmate. Losing Simone Battle in 2014 is part of what makes this current moment, and the way her G.R.L. family has spoken about her now feel even heavier. Bennett kept making music well beyond her group years. In 2016, she released solo singles including Reality and Hurricane, and in 2017, she teamed up with her brother Ryan to form a folk, country, blues and rock duo simply called Bennett. Their debut single, It's All Good, came out that June. By all accounts, music never stopped being part of her life. Reports note that her final social media post came earlier this year, in February, a video of her covering the classic These Boots Are Made for Walking. Now to the details we're actually here for today. What happened at her memorial? According to TMZ, Bennett's family and closest circle gathered for a private service in London, roughly a week and a half before the news became public. This wasn't a big industry event, it was intentionally small. Her former bandmates from both G.R.L. and Paradiso Girls attended, alongside her immediate family and close friends. Guests were greeted with a memorial display featuring a glamorous photo of Bennett, along with the words, "Celebrating the life of Lauren Bennett," and the message, "Forever loved, forever with us." And in one of the more emotional moments of the day, attendees reportedly wrote personal messages on balloons and released them together into the sky. A quiet, personal send-off for a woman whose voice had once filled arenas and airwaves across the world. It's a striking contrast, honestly, from a song that topped charts in 20 countries to a goodbye shared only among the people who actually knew her. Lauren Bennett's career took her from pub gigs in Kent to the top of the Billboard Hot 100, through Heartbreak within her own group, and into a second chapter making music with her brother. She was 37 years old. To her family, her friends, and her G.R.L. and Paradiso Girls bandmates, our thoughts go out to all of you. If this story moved you, let us know in the comments which Lauren Bennett moment stuck with you most, whether it's that unmistakable party rock anthem bridge or her later work with G.R.L. Hit subscribe for more music news and tributes, and we'll see you in the next one.